When you read Monsignor Hillenbrand's writings or listen to his homilies, he's always talking about the corporate nature of worship. And when we hear corporate, we think, big corporations and anonymity within a large group. What he's talking about is corporate as a body. So the people in the pews are not individuals, but they're acting as one voice, and they're joining all their prayers to the headship of the priest, who's acting in persona Christi, in the person of Christ. And they're not individuals. See, they saw that individualism was the cause of war. Because if one nation saw themselves as an individual nation, then they would go to war with their neighbor. And one of the popes in the early 20th century was famous for saying that World War I was a Catholic or a Christian civil war. Christians battling Christians, Catholics battling Catholics, Germans against French, two Catholics, Catholic countries. And he said the Mass was the answer to this, because at Mass, he said, we were united in a bond, and it's a very beautiful line, he said, a bond stronger than death. Even death, the death of Christ, and our own individual deaths at that time, could not separate us from the love of Christ, from the mystical body, from the prayers of Christ before the Father. And that to enter into the liturgy was to have all of that made real and present and effective in our own realm. So if you go to Mass and just say, well, this is my duty, if I don't go, it's a black mark of mortal sin, well, that's a child's understanding. What you want to say is, I get to go to Mass so that the mysteries of Christ can be made real in my presence and become effective and transform me into the resurrected Christ. This is what Hillenbrand understood, and this is why he was so urgently pushing everybody to understand this as well, because they thought this would lead to the rebirth of Christian charity, the end of war, the end of poverty, the end of hatred. And that's one reason for the urgency of the Second Vatican Council as well. So Hillenbrand's right in the middle of it, right here in Chicago, right here on our campus, and kind of set the tone for the next 50 years.